Hello, everybody, and good morning. Elena here with another episode of Rewired Inspired. And today I have a guest that she's going to talk about her processes because she helps people just like you with music. And her name is Roxanne Christian. And Roxanne attended the Trafalgar Castle and Berklee College of Music alumni, and she has over a decade of experience working with physical, mental, emotional, and cognitive needs within district school boards, municipal nursing homes, psychiatric hospitals, and other populations globally. Roxanne is a certified music therapist, and she uses music as a therapy to facilitate healing, wellness, rehabilitation, and creative processes. Roxanne, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Elena. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
So, Roxanne, I know that you and your music have done some beautiful things from people out there. But what I like to know most of all is why music? What is your why? And why you took this path to help people with your music. So if you want to talk about your story, what's your why? How did you get there? What were your, ups and downs? Because I think that will help the listeners inspire and rewire their mind through your um, processes and what you did, most of all, to get the success that you have.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Elena. Um, when throughout elementary and high school, I was actively involved in um, the performing arts, so musical theater, um, drama club, the choirs, debating teams. So I loved being very expressive. I also used to write songs for fun to kind of explain a story about my life and my thoughts without necessarily having to say it's about me. So it was a great way to explore and express without feeling intimidated or as vulnerable. I also had always had a great passion about learning about the mind and why people have certain emotions and experience certain things in life and how their thought processes work and how we can change behavior uh, to better our lives. So in grade 12, my school would take us to, this is back when we had grade 13 in Ontario, would
Mm-hmm.
take us to the different schools in Ontario, different universities, for a tour to get a feel of the schools, see, um, ask around about the different programs, and just be really exposed to our possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
When I was at University of Windsor, I asked my tour guide if I could double major in music and psychology. I didn't want to give up the music just as yet, and I was really interested in the psychology. And then she said, "Oh, we have a program here called music therapy, and it marries the best of both those worlds, music and psychology, anatomy and physiology, and music history, and so much more." So I was like, "Okay, sign me up, that's it." Long story short, I ended up going to Berklee College of Music in Boston, which was one of the best experiences ever. I got to be in the presence of a lot of high achievers, really creative and skilled musicians. In fact, Quincy Jones, Diana Krall, Esperanza Spalding, um,
That's
even Buddy
beautiful.
Hare have even either passed through there, taught there, or have graduated or learned from there at some point. And so many other great performers and musicians out there. So at Berklee, I got my degree in music therapy. It's a 4-year program with uh, call it a year of internship, 1,300 hours of internship after you graduate. And then to become a board certified music therapist, once you've done your internship, you can sit for your exam. And once you pass your exam, you're certified to facilitate music therapy. So that was the beginning of things.
So you used music really to tell your story in a way, or to hide behind your story. Is that right?
Exactly. I was able to uh, tell my story without feeling vulnerable.
And how did you overcome that vulnerability? How did you, step up and say, okay, I've done this for so long, but now it's time for me to stop being vulnerable and put away whatever shame, guilt, whatever it was, and move forward?
Well, what I love about being a music therapist is every time I'm working with my clients, whether it's in a group setting or one-on-one setting, I'm always learning and healing myself in the process. So I'm always reminding myself of all the different wellness tools and music interventions and sound healing processes you can use to remove the blocks, to fully step into your self-love, self-worth, and self-confidence, and come at life through a state of relaxation and more ease, more inspiration, more clarity and focus. So I think just working with people throughout the years has allowed me to feel more, to be more authentic, and to be more free with my voice and my expression of who I am.
So you healed yourself through healing others. Is that what you're saying? So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so as you worked with, because I know you work with a variety of students, and you work in the nursing homes and hospitals. So just by working with them, you lived vicariously to their process. So not only did you heal them, but you healed yourself. Now, Roxanne, if I was to ask you, what is your why? Why music? Why are you doing what you're doing?
Well, my ultimate goal, I have this phrase, is like, my desire is to inspire love and light despite the strife. So that's like a phrase that I've always said to myself over and over. I just love inspiring people, and I'm able to do that through different types of music interventions. And once I get them in a state of inspiration, and I change their vibration from, um, a sympathetic operating system to a more relaxed parasympathetic operating system,
Mhm.
then from there they're able to have the clarity and the confidence to work through whether it's physical goals they have, emotional goals, um, substance abuse goals, mental health goals, managing their stress, anxiety, or even their emotions, executive functioning or speech acquisition. No matter what their goals are, when you get them in a certain state, presence first, where they're relaxed and they're inspired to move forward, then you can do so much. So my why is, when I just feed off of other people feeling good and feeling well. Um, I love inspiring people. I've seen the positive effects of um, inspiring someone in their life, and it just keeps me going despite the strife, no matter how hard it is. It's like my personal fuel. So in a way, I'm a little bit selfish when it comes to what I do, and why I help people.
So you're selfish in what way? You're selfish because you want to help others, or
I'm
you're
selfish.
selfish?
I'm selfish because I know as I'm helping others, I'm fueled by the, their their growth, their expansion, their feedback, um, and what I'm reminding myself and learning as I'm working with someone else.
Because sometimes it's good to be selfish in a good way, as long as it's a win-win situation.
Right.
So you're happy, they're happy. So tell me, Roxanne, what are the processes that you use? Do you use just, I know music has frequency and we are all about energy and it's extremely powerful. I also know that the tonation of your voice and everything that we say is very important. So through your processes, for example, let's say you go to a nursing home. What would be, if you can describe, a little bit, what would be a process that you work with people in nursing homes so that they can get that mind shift, so they can move from that sympathetic to the parasympathetic place where you give them more calmness and relaxation? What is something that you usually do, if you want to just describe it?
Great question, Elena, because music therapists systematically use music to work on non-musical goals. So that's going to look different for every population.
Mm-hmm.
So specifically, when I go into long-term care and nursing homes, some of the goals include real, executive functioning, um, maintaining fine and gross motor skills,
Yes.
improving the dignity and quality of life,
Yes.
as well as being able to engage appropriately in relation to the current reality and communicate effectively in social settings.
And that's
So,
very important.
yes, so I'm going to give specific examples of how music uh, addresses each of those goals. Okay, so when it comes to um, making sure that we maintain the importance of maintaining fine and gross motor skills in seniors and long term is essential. It helps the staff out because they end up using less staff to help with mobility, to help with getting in and out of the chair, dressing themselves, doing their activities of daily living, eating, um, all the things we do with our range of motion and our fine motor skills, manipulating things, brushing our teeth, combing our hair, buttoning our clothes, eating our food. So we encourage the maintenance or improvement of the fine and gross motor skills through playing different instruments that require you to use your fingers in a certain way or use your hands in a certain way.
So you actually get them to do something physical as well as, so then they are doing something physical and then you integrate the music with that physical component.
So the music is actually the motivator. The music is the way to get them engaged. So we're not just having physical therapy, we're actually we're having fun by playing all these different instruments, whether it's a kalimba, working our thumbs, or whether it's mallets and playing a xylophone, or it's playing a keyboard and encouraging them to wiggle their fingers even if they have no musical skills, or whatever. There's so many different instruments we use for them to work on their fine motor skills. So the music, the songs of their formative years and the songs that they really respond to are just to get them to like engage in the process. We'll do things like drumming, where we have to reach up high and come down and press on the drum, or different movements with boom whackers, where our arms are out and then they come in, or rhythm sticks. We do like cross lateral movements, all sorts of things to get their body moving so they can improve their circulation, maintain the strength that they do have, and their fine and gross motor skills. So
and that changes the way, that changes because the brain starts to fire up and trigger. Exactly. That parasympathetic makes them happier, I'm assuming, right? Because
absolutely, because one, they're engaged, two, yeah, they're building new neural pathways.
Neural pathways, yes, they're connecting and Beautiful.
Yeah, so that's an example for um, like a physical goal. So an example of maybe a memory goal. Say someone has dementia or they have Alzheimer's. We sing songs of their childhood or formative years or um, their young adult years because their long-term memory is the last to go. So they
Yes.
often remember, and plus music uses both sides of the brain, so it's harder
It
to
triggers both hemispheres. Yes.
exactly. So that's why we remember music so much. Because even if one side of the brain is damaged, there's that other side of the brain that processes music, and
Yeah.
so the music is still alive. It's still there in the brain and the memory. So when we sing songs that they remember, they become more alert, and then we start to engage in open dialogue. And
So
you
do you see that alertness on their faces when you work with them? You
absolutely,
do, right? Yeah.
the staff love to see this because they see a different side of them.
Hmm.
Also, their loved ones who come to visit them love to see them during music therapy sessions because their affect changes. They're more animated. Their posture is more upright. They're
Yeah.
actually like smiling. And then we talk about the memories associated with that
With
song.
that.
What
Yeah.
does it remind you of? What was happening during this time of your life? And usually we choose songs that are related to what's going on in the present. So, for example, we're in the month of love, February.
Yes.
So when I go into the retirement or long-term care or memory care um, communities, I'm going to bring a lot of songs from the 1930s to the 1970s about love. So then we
So
can
they can relate and you trigger something and it's
exactly,
like a trigger. Yes.
and we let them know that we are in the month of February now,
Hmm.
and this is what's going on in our world, and that's what went on in your world, and we validate them, we witness them by hearing them, and the dialogue and the expression and the socialization expands from there.
Now, I know this process helps also with people who feel a little melancholy and, you know, so if you were to, let's say, give somebody a tip, what would be what that you would recommend someone who feels a little melancholy, who doesn't have that pick me up in the morning? How can they snap out of that using your process, for example, if you can?
Yes. So I love uh, brainwave states. And when we know what each brainwave state, what it does, what its
Mhm.
functions are, then we're able to use rhythm and uh, toning to entrain our brain to a certain state to accomplish a certain goal.
Okay.
So, for example, if uh, you're looking to fall asleep and have a good sleep, you want to be in delta. If
Yes.
you're looking to kind of be in a dream state, have some creative downloads, you're awake, but you're very relaxed, you want to get yourself in theta.
Yes.
If you are maybe an athlete, you're doing sports, or you want to learn something new, you want to be alert, you're going to get yourself in alpha. I think alpha alert
Yes. Yes.
AA. And then if you want to really like problem solve and really think, you're going to get yourself in delta. And then if you really want to become one with the universe, almost like you're having like a whole body or orgasm,
Experience. Yeah.
exactly, you're going to put yourself in gamma. So when you know the different cycles
Yeah.
per minute, you can either get binaural beats or an actual metronome, or what I like to do is I use a buffalo drum. So I'm creating these cycles per minute with the buffalo drum. So if I want to be in delta, I'm going to play it very slow.
Yeah.
If
So that you can slowly, yeah.
Exactly. The heart, when you start to breathe with the rhythm of the drum, the heart rate kind of like slows down and then trains to that rhythm. So someone maybe is having trouble falling asleep. We're going to play in delta, breathe, deep breathe, and then we are going to do single breath toning. Now, there's been lots of scientific studies and research and papers that prove that single breath toning has immense health benefits.
Yes.
So mainly when it comes to the production of nitric oxide.
Yes.
So nitric oxide, it reduces high blood pressure through vasodilation. It also helps with inflammation. It helps with the reduction of chronic respiratory airway disease and so much more. So a single breath tone would be you take a deep breath in, and then you exhale on a vowel maybe. And you'd hold it for as long as you can. And then
until you let all the air out, right?
Exactly. We're pushing all the stale air out. Immediately after that, we take a deep breath in, and we do it over and over again.
How long for? Minutes?
So I always tell my clients, like, you don't even need 15 minutes to meditate and recalibrate and shift your vibration. All you need to do is set your timer to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you know that people may get overwhelmed when I say set your timer for 15 minutes.
In the beginning. So you start small, take small steps, even 1 minute. I think if you do, if people that do 1 minute 3 times or 4 times a day, right? It will make a huge difference.
A huge difference. That 1 minute when we say, oh, it's only 1 minute, so I can definitely clear my mind and be completely present and focused to this task for a minute, you are like fully engaged. It's better 1 minute of complete focus than 15 minutes with all these racing thoughts and not being fully present. And then, as you said, you can do that throughout the day. Then you're building that muscle, you're building this practice, you're building the muscle of discipline, focus, clarity, connecting with the body, and then you can expand on that and do it more, do it longer.
And you're also creating a pathway because you're getting your brain to do something that it's positive, that will help you in the long run, using something very easy, like your process is very easy.
Exactly.
So, it's amazing how easy things can make a huge difference if we know how, right?
Exactly. So when you talk about someone who's more melancholy, so I see this a lot sometimes with teens who are struggling, or people who are struggling with substance abuse or dual diagnosis like depression and substance abuse.
Especially now with everything that's going on, like, I think your process is beautiful because it's helping people who really, really need it now more than ever. So
exactly. So, for example, the teen who is struggling to really just kind of vent and talk about their pains and their struggles, talk therapy might be challenging for them. So we would do something like lyric analysis, where we pick a song of an artist or a band or a musician that they really love, so they're more open, and we pick a song with lyrics that is related to maybe something that they're working on or their struggles. Then we listen.
So you're getting them to use music like you are using yourself to tell a story, but transition through that, or am I correct?
Exactly, to explore and express through that non-invasive platform, because now it's not about them. It's
Right.
about the song.
But
So
they're experiencing the transformation anyway, and maybe some of them are not even aware that they're doing it. Or
oh, absolutely. So they're listening to the
that's
song.
beautiful.
The song is done. We analyze the overall arching theme, and then we analyze the lyrics line by line. We talk about what it means to them, what it means to me. There's no right or wrong answer. Remember, we're just using this as the basis for them to open up.
Yes.
Then we talk about how it relates to our life or not. From there, as they're opening up, we're asking them questions that give way for more expansion. Okay, we call this motivational interviewing, asking
Yes.
questions that are not just yes or no answers. And
Yeah, you're going deeper, but in a easy way where they don't feel threatened. They don't put that wall up to say, hey, I don't really want to talk about that because
exactly.
I
So now
get
it's
it.
about their interests, their music, the artist, the things that they like, and they're more vested in wanting to analyze. And then subconsciously they realize they're releasing and exploring and expressing.
And you're also building connection with them. I think at the same time, you're building a authentic connection because they begin to trust you. Am I correct in saying that?
Absolutely. From there, you begin to build a rapport because they're like, this person is interested in what I'm interested in. They're not some boring therapist, right?
Exactly. Who's getting me to say, well, why do you do that? Which doesn't work anyway. Well, why do you do that? Which again,
because when people open up and they have these conversations, then you can like softly give the wellness tools. Like, okay, let's talk about reframing. How do you reframe that? Let's talk
yes.
about internal dialogue and how we speak to ourselves. Let's talk about goal setting and how to make yourself accountable and have goals measurable. And from there, you can do the whole
That's beautiful
therapy once you've gotten them in that place of mind, and then they're more happy.
And you know what? That's the most important thing, because you're getting them from that melancholic state, and maybe more than melancholic, because some of them may be very depressed, right? So you're getting them to shift to a happy state, which is huge. And in the process, they're having a good time, you're building rapport, and it works. This is what's important, because it does work. It changes that. You're creating new neural pathways for them, for a beautiful, easy process that they don't even realize what's happening, but they're happy.
And they're not necessarily happy because the music is happy, because the lyrics could be depressing.
Yeah.
But they're happy because they're connecting to something that means a lot to them, or that they can relate to it, or it's explaining their story, so they feel validated and not as alone. And then they're having this opportunity to explore and express. So that elevates their mood.
That's right. You just said that they're validated, and that's what I think most of them look for, that validation. Now, Roxanne, your process is beautiful. I'm going to put you on the spot. I always do that with all my guests. I know you had some health challenges. I'd like you to share with the audience what you did to shift yourself, because I know you're feeling good now. And yeah, it was an up and down situation for you. But I'd like you to share with the audience, because I know what you do for others, you also do for you. So tell me and tell us what processes you integrated specifically that helped you, so that people can live vicariously through your process.
Absolutely. So I've always incorporated visualization, guided music, and guided imagery with music. So people can write their own script of, the life that they want to live, using as much detail with all the senses as possible. They can record that on their phone and their voice memo or something, and then they can find on YouTube, for example, a certain brainwave frequency. I like to use delta right before I go to bed, and you can play your your script while the music is playing. So the music entrains your brain and heart to that frequency, and it prepares you for deep sleep. And when your mind is more in a sleep state, it's more open to suggestion.
Yes.
So when you're hearing your own voice and you're hearing your script, it's programming what is in your script. Like, I'm healthy, I am strong, I seek good support, I make healthy choices, whatever you put in your script. So that's one thing that had helped, and also just an attitude of gratitude, and just creating positive affirmations, reciting them throughout the day as much as you can, but not just saying them, but really connecting with the feeling of the words. So
Yes.
certain words, if you really think about what they mean, they can bring certain feeling states, and you observe where in the body you feel those feelings, and you remember what those feelings, those sensations in the different areas feel like. So you can kind of practice feeling those physical sensations as much as you can throughout the day, which is a part of helping you to be a vibrational match to the thing that you want.
Right.
So that, and more recently, so I literally was on my deathbed almost a year ago, and obviously it wasn't my time.
Obviously, because you did something right.
Right? So fortunately for me, it wasn't cancer, it wasn't COVID, but I did have a mass in my body that was affecting my bodily functions, and it was causing all sorts of havoc in all systems of my body where I was malfunctioning. So I honestly, I believe it was through prayer and clean. I started eating more clean. I kind of regressed since then, but clean eating.
So you change things, right? You started eating differently, right?
Exactly. Gratitude work, visualization, and then recently, because in December I attended a sound healing conference, and I learned a specific process where we focus on the part of the body that needs attention, whether it's physical attention from a disease or ailment, or emotional attention. And then we spend a few moments deep breathing with our mind focused on that area, but we're also having the internal dialogue of, I accept you, thank you, please forgive me, I forgive you, I love you. So we're having this conversation with our intention, our attention focused on that.
You do that sitting in front of a mirror, or do you just close your eyes?
I just kind of close my eyes and do it. And if you do it sitting in front of a mirror, looking in front of a mirror, that's the way we use Hayes's mirror work technique.
Yes. A lot of stuff and it's extremely powerful as well, but
So once you're doing that, then I like to imagine a bright, pure white light beaming in from the cosmos and beyond, entering through the crown or the top of the head, traveling down my spine or my central system, and traveling to the area that needs your focus, the area that needs to be healed. And then you're imagining that light to
spreading.
Exactly. Spreading through that area, all around in that area, warmth and love and healing. And then when you exhale, you tone, because the single breath toning, again, increases the production of nitric oxide.
So you integrate the single breath toning as well.
That's the sound healing and vibrational aspect of it, right?
Beautiful.
Exactly. So the toning, remember, nitric oxide.
So you take a deep breath in, you hold it.
I take a deep breath in, imagining.
Imagine that white light coming in.
coming in, say I have an ailment in my stomach, for example.
Okay.
That's where I have the issue, but
Yes.
I'm going to imagine the light traveling, and it's going to stop maybe at my gallbladder.
So as you start imagining, you do the breath. Do it now for me. So you go.
So first, I'm going to walk through the process.
Yeah.
First, I'm
Close your eyes.
I'm closing my eyes. I'm bringing my attention to, for example, my gallbladder.
Okay.
And I'm just taking a few deep breaths.
Mm-hmm.
And this will take about maybe a minute or two to really connect with that area.
Okay.
And not be upset about the sensations that don't feel good. Not avert from it, but just be present with it and accept it. I accept you.
I accept
Please
you.
forgive me.
Beautiful.
I love you.
I love you.
Thank you. And then after a few moments of reciting that and being present with that area, you breathe in the bright light, imagining it coming from the cosmos and beyond, entering through the crown, traveling to the area of need. So it's going to pass through the different areas and land by my gallbladder. And I'm going to keep breathing and exhaling, imagining that with every inhale, the bright light is expanding that in that area even more and more, softening that area, toning that area, bringing that area love, light, and nourishment, healing powers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do that just a few times.
Yeah.
And then from there, after I've created that mindset, now I just take a deep breath in, breathe into that area, exhale on a tone. Breathe into the area, exhale on a tone. Really feeling the vibrations in the body, connecting where you're feeling the vibrations as a tone.
Mm-hmm.
And you do that for about
a few minutes,
like 3 to 5 minutes. You're gonna feel a vibrational shift. You're gonna feel your physical body feeling different, feeling more vitality. You've improved the oxygenation to the brain.
Yes.
Which releases those feel-good chemicals, the serotonin. You've reduced some of the tension held in the muscles just from the deep breathing. And so I found that actually, I feel like it totally eradicated my issue.
Yes.
When I did that, and I went back to the doctor recently, everything was like perfect without surgery, and we were shocked. I really believe this stuff.
So you heal yourself. Are you familiar with, I can't remember his name now, the guy who lives in the cold and he takes cold baths?
Is it Hoffman?
Yeah, what's his name?
I forget his first name, but it's something Hoffman.
Hoffman, yes.
Yeah.
And he does a very similar process where, he can program his body to go into really, really low temperatures, and he's completely fine. And it's very similar to what you're describing right now. And also, I think when you connecting your mind to that area of the body, you're reinstating that connection. When I work with weight loss, with hypnosis, I get the unconscious to connect to our second gut, which is our tummy, because when there is a disconnect there, that's when things start to go wrong. So literally really reconnecting that and getting your own unconscious to send healing, that is huge and powerful.
It's so true. And because we're getting our own subconscious to facilitating the process of healing, whether we realize it or not, we're actually practicing the vibration of empowerment.
Yes.
which allows us to operate more in the world with confidence.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
And it's a very easy process. And yeah, I'm glad, I watched you do it, because I think people, when they see this episode, it's important that they take something away for them to integrate a minute a day, even if they do and that's huge.
Huge.
And it takes no time. You can do that anywhere, standing at a bus stop, you know.
When I'm walking from my car to like somewhere I have to go,
Yeah.
Especially when so many people are not around. It's like, have
You
a bit
do
of
it.
ego. I don't want people to think I'm crazy. But I will do that. I will like literally take a deep breath in
Yeah.
and exhale. And I like to tone on ah. You can
Yeah.
tone on any vowel.
Yeah.
But the reason why I tone on ah, and Dr. Wayne Dwyer brought this to my attention,
Yeah.
is that if ah is the sound of creation. So if you think of like all the religions, all the deities, it has the sound ah in it. So ga, God.
Yeah.
Allah, Allah.
Yeah.
Da,
Yeah.
Na, Yahweh, Ah, Ra,
Yeah.
everything. So he actually taught me a process of breathing in from the tailbone, allowing it to travel up through your central column, and then exhale on the tone ah, while imagining, using your imagination as best as you can,
Yes,
on what you want to manifest. And the sound of ah, the sound of creation,
yes,
breathing it up through our root, out through the third chakra, we're putting that vision out there.
out there. Yes.
So I've just recently been practicing that. I love it.
That's beautiful. And imagine the brain doesn't understand whether you are imagining it or, it's real. It thinks it's real anyway. And I think that process is beautiful. So Roxanne, before we leave, what's in store for you in the coming months, weeks, years? What can you share with us that you're working on? I know you're working on something, and share with the audience what it is you're working on, and also tell us if they want to know more about you, where can they go to find out more about you?
So I do work with corporate, mainly facilitating groups. If they want to connect with me and find out how I could serve their community, then they can reach out to me at livelovelifemusic.com. Just for inspirational quotes and little information here and there about music, mindset, or sound therapy, they can visit me on Instagram at roxllmusic. And the thing that I'm most inspired and passionate about currently is my offering, Boss Lady Confidence.
Yes.
Program for high achieving women, and I have an affinity for women business owners. So high achieving women or women business owners who want to be beautiful, optimistic, successful soul ladies operating in full confidence and clarity through tapping into their creative powers, learning how to regulate their mood, learning how to harness their vibration and be a vibrational match to manifest anything that they want. So those who are interested in that right now, they can visit me on LinkedIn at Roxanne Christian, where they can find more information about this offering and this process, and connect with me from there.
Yeah, beautiful. So your website is www. Say it.
Live, love, life, music.
Live, love,
Love, life,
music. Beautiful.
We're living in love and life with
and music. So you incorporated everything. That's so beautiful. Roxanne, I want to say thank you for being here. I enjoyed talking to you. I love your process, and keep up the good work. And like I said, anybody wants to know more about you, go to
livelovelifemusic.com, on Instagram, RoxLL music, or LinkedIn, Roxanne Christian.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Roxanne.
Thank you so much, Elena. Stay blessed, stay beautiful.
It's been a pleasure to have you on my show.